yourself when someone else can do it for you.
And number two?
Now, number two, practiced the snake style. He was known as the snake spirit. He had the speed of the snake. And snake style, known for its incredible agility. Agility, speed.
Yeah, that's fucking right.
The fifth pupil, he practiced the toad style. 4 and 5 knew each other, but never met the other 3. The toad style is immensely strong and immune to nearly any weapon. When it's properly used, it's almost invincible.
Yo, man, hold on. Yo, man, where my killer tape at? First of all, where the fuck is my tape? How you ain't got my shit, but I let you hold it, man? Come on, man, I don't got nothing to do with my shit, man. Come on, man, get out with that shit. Man, I'm open the door, man. What the fuck, man? What's on, yo? Shamik just got busted in his head 2 times, God. Go life, God. You know Shamik from fucking 212, God. The niggas just got bust. Niggas in the black land, God. Word was born. Came through, God, from out of nowhere, God. Word was born. I'm coming to get my coach's cipher, God. And they just, word was born. Crazy shots just went the fuck off, God. The nigga laying there like a fucking newborn fucking baby, God. Is he fucking dead? What the fuck you mean is he fucking dead, God? Fuck you dead. The nigga laying there with this fucking, all types of fucking blood coming out of his fucking.
Oh, hatred in this motherfucker.
The God, what is wrong? Yo, what's up, man? The fucking make him ready to get busy. What's up? The God, fuck that, man.
Holy shit. Holy shit. I literally just discovered this album 5 seconds ago. But you need to check this shit out. Enter the 007 chambers. I just put it in the music section. Number 1 in the chat. It's your boy Woke Patriot. But holy shit. Whoops. I pressed it twice. It's quickie time. Number motherfucking Wu-Tang 007. Holy shit, bro. It's so fucking good. That intro is amazing. The intro is mind-blowing. Great stuff. Great stuff. Welcome to the motherfucking News Underground. I am Abandoned Nihilism, and my neck is currently attempting to eat my face. I will get you. I am the neck. I will destroy you. Your head is mine. Welcome back in this motherfucker Bulletproof. Let's get to it. I'm just popping into headlines. It's all about America's favorite pedo, Jeffrey fucking Epstein. America's favorite pedo. He's our own little version of, what was his name? Oh, it'll come to me. That guy from the UK. Fucking Top of the Pops guy. It'll come to me. I should know. I've studied him actually. I really did a deep dive. Savile, yeah, Jimmy Savile. Have you seen the movie with Laurie? Guy is fucking amazing in it. Guy is fucking amazing. I'm still not feeling great. So just so everybody knows, I'm, damn, that is good. We were also looking at footage from the 1970s in the hoods here. Love watching that footage. I only saw the interview with Louis Theroux. Yeah, Hugh Laurie. I'm sorry, I'm not with it today. But no, he did a movie where he played Jimmy Savile. And it wasn't like a documentary, but it was more of like a dramatization of all the eyewitness reports, and a few times in the movie, in this like dramatization, they cut to real footage of real victims describing what happened to them, right? But that's all we have. We have just what they're saying, right? We don't have anybody who witnessed it. But man, the guy was, he would creep around that hospital and literally rape people. It's just amazing that he was just getting away with this shit. It was crazy. It really was something else. All right. here's oh, we got the template up here. Epstein fun. What do we put here? Epstein told you so. I mean, what do we put here? Huh? What do we put here? We all know what's going on here. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me with this? Oh, Donald Trump telling his hack, completely unqualified director of the FBI, Cash, I put you in there. Cash, you're my buddy. Cash, you were a nobody before you met me. You were a nobody. You got to do this for me, Cash. Put out a statement. There's no client list, Cash, okay? You got to cover this up. I can't believe I have to tell you this explicitly. I figured you would be smart enough to figure it out, Cash. Okay? There's no fucking clients list, right? The whole thing. Deny the whole thing, Cash. You got to do this for me, Cash. So should we learn about this from Chris Hayes? Or R.M. Brown? Yay. Let's take it easy on a fucking Wednesday. It's Wednesday, isn't it? Oh my God. Jesus. Let's take it easy on a Wednesday morning and just enjoy some R.M. Brown. Seriously, guys, this guy, he's great. He's great. I think he's talented. He's got the right political perspective, which is important. I don't think he's a coward, which I think is important. He's got his own style. Like he's the kind of guy. He's like Mitch Hedberg a little bit, where if you watch enough of him, you just start emulating him. You just start emulating the way he speaks and thinks and stuff. He's really something else. I think he's a talented guy that's about to like blow up. I think he's just right on the cusp of blowing up over here. As an extension of Pizzagate, they latched onto Epstein to justify all the theories. I mean, it was hilarious to me, all the right wingers, and we still see him come in once in a while, because they think I'm a Democrat supporting left, a neoliberal, right? They're like, oh yeah, what about Jeffrey Epstein, right? You're gonna ignore that because you're defending Bill Clinton. And it's like, they don't want to talk about Donald Trump. And it's like, are you serious? I mean, he's like, it's so hilarious that these MAGA guys are running around the internet not talking about Donald Trump's connection. Meanwhile, Jeffrey Epstein over here, oh, Donald Trump. Yeah, he's my, him and I were best buds for 10 years. Donald Trump making a public statement. Some say Jeffrey likes him young. He likes him. He likes to party. Likes him young. Right. First time he had sex with his wife is on his fucking pedo plane. Anyway, guys, this has been a long time coming. If you've been actually paying attention, and if you've actually had you weren't like bogged down with bias, right? Like the regulators in the chat. Welcome back, Bound. Then you would have seen this coming, right? Because it's like, oh yeah, right. Everyone knew it. And anybody who actually was paying attention to the story knew damn well Epstein files weren't going to come out. We knew damn well why he fucking died. Are you kidding me? He died during Trump's first term for a specific fucking reason. Okay, maybe it was Trump doing a favor for Israel or a king, right? Maybe it was Trump doing a favor for someone else, or maybe it was Trump doing a favor for himself. Jeffrey Epstein was connected with a lot of pedos. He was like hey, I want to do some pedo shit. Who do I call? So, I got a guy. He was the guy. He was the plug for pedo sex for like 10, 15 years. Apparently he also did normal prostitution as well. But anyway, let's do some R.M. Brown. He's a talented guy.
Oh, hey, what's up, guys? Hey.
Yeah, Bound. I mean, the fact is, transparency, truth, all this stuff. If you've been paying attention, damn well Donald Trump wasn't going to release any of that information. As much as he would like to burn Clinton and a bunch of other people, I think he's ascertained it's better to just deny its existence altogether, sweep it all under the rug, That tells me that it's really nasty, that it's really good. That, that there's some really good shit on Donald Trump somewhere in there, somewhere deep in the fucking bowels, in some cardboard box. In some guy's office is the fucking bombshell. You know what I mean? Jeffrey Epstein, apparently, according to the prostitutes, wouldn't put down the camera. There was cameras everywhere blatantly, and there was likely hidden cameras everywhere. So this guy was, and I think he was making, under the auspices of keepsakes. He was, making little souvenirs for these guys because, look, you're paying for it, and it's like it's also for a lot of these guys, it's like it's a dirty little secret, but it's not something that they're going to do on a daily basis, right? Hire a 14-year-old prostitute to jerk you off, right? So a lot of guys, they they want a little keepsake that they keep locked away. If you've ever seen True Detective, there's a the videotape, right, is acquired. Now that's of course fictional, but it's a real thing, Jeff. And I think he was, of course, they say he was connected to Mossad. I want to see more information on that because there is some pretty interesting information, but I want to see, like, I don't know. I want to see, like, I want to see the documentary. I got to see the 4-hour. I want to see that. Sitting in jail now with no list on record going, well, guess I might think about hanging myself. Yeah, exactly. She might slip on a banana peel, fall out of a fucking balcony. Whoopsie daisies. Watch Trump just like be so uncreative, be so stupid and lame. He literally starts emulating Putin on that level. He starts pushing people out of balconies.
Hey, man, how you doing? How's
Hey,
your
Aaron
family?
Brown. Hey, I hope you don't mind. I'm going to steal your content.
Right. Hey, shut up, man.
Oh,
I was
sorry.
being polite. I don't want to hear the whole story.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Anyway,
Jesus.
what else is going on? Anything?
Whether he ever worked
Epstein
for
pedo
the
shit.
American or foreign
Speak
intelligence
up, man.
agency, the former labor secretary who was Miami U.S. attorney. So could you resolve whether or not he did, and also could you say why there was a minute missing from the jailhouse tape?
Right.
On the minutes?
Right.
Yeah, sure. If I
Pam, could I just interrupt for
Sure.
a second?
Yeah, shut
Are
up,
you
Pam.
still talking about Jeffrey Epstein?
Can you believe this? We're still talking about this. I love how he literally thinks he can manipulate the zeitgeist just directly and just kind of scold the zeitgeist. Stop even bringing this up. Stop talking about this. Like even dictators understand the necessity to, carve and cultivate and curate. And he doesn't want to do any of that. He wants to take a fucking sledgehammer and then just have somebody else rebuild it in his image. He doesn't want to carve and curate and kind of move things in a way and message things in a way. I mean, he is such a dull, blunt instrument.
This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have
Yeah,
Texas,
about-
we have this, we have all
Well, he's sitting in his feces and urine. Let's not forget that.
of the things. It's weird. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That
Whoa,
is-
hey.
Whoa,
Hey,
your good
man.
buddy.
Creep. That's
And are people still talking
That's
about
your
this
good
guy,
buddy.
this creep?
crossing the line, man. You show that guy some respect. Oh wait, no, sorry. I
Oh, wait
forgot
a
who
minute.
he's talking about.
Oh,
Don't
yeah.
show that guy. And that's a bad
Yes.
guy, man.
It's weird.
Weird.
Oh man, this AI video.
This AI video is
Yeah, it's a little scary, but it's pretty funny. Hold on, my producer is saying something. What's that, you moron? I'm doing a show. I'm right in the middle of what is that? Oh, it's not. Okay.
That's
That's
reality.
not. Okay.
Yeah, no, this is I love this face. It's like, oh yeah. This is this is our hell world that we live in on a daily basis.
Wow. Yeah, that's interesting, man. That's interesting. That's probably one of the craziest things, if not the craziest thing I've ever seen. Yeah, wow. Yeah, that's weird.
It's weird.
Yeah, that's weird. Like if you're implicated, if there's a long
See, we'll both do soundboard drops, and you won't be able to tell who's doing who.
paper trail of you being connected to probably one of the worst and definitely the most notorious criminal of our time.
No.
You would have some sort of a plan, you know? Some sort of a story or something.
No.
You would have put a little thought into
No,
you know,
nope. He just wants just stop talking about it. Just literally, he wants to stop talking. You know, like Xi Jinping. That's what he wants. Like full blown, you know, tyrant dictator. Like you're literally not even allowed to address me and speak to me about certain topics. And if you do, I'm going to be wildly offended. You know, and I'm gonna fake. You know, this pearl clutch. How dare you breach my my iron wall of safety. Just talking about a news story that just dropped about a guy I was friends with. So weird. Oh, I see. Yeah. From Trump's perspective. Yeah.
Most of us, if we go and we get like soda when all we ask for is a water cup at Chipotle or
After budget approvals, hiring system architects at $300K. Oh my God. What? Jesus Christ. I mean, ICE is the new Gestapo. ICE is Trump's personal police force. They need to be stopped at all, you know, and like they're going to be given approval to use lethal force. They need to be stopped. They need to be stopped. They're going to be kidnapping Americans, not just immigrants, they're going to be kidnapping Americans and tossing them into American style concentration camps. I mean, this is really happening. And ironically, it's like, where's Alex Jones cheering this on, cheering on the fucking FEMA camps, right? For the roundups. Where's Alex Jones? He's over here puking in his car. I really liked all the other stuff. But this Jeffrey Epstein stuff makes me want to puke. But I really liked all the other stuff, the hatred, the bigotry, the ignorance, the uninformed, incredibly stupid actions on the market. I thought that was really great. But now he won't admit that he's a pedophile. He's covering up his heinous actions with a well-known pedophile. Can you believe this, folks? New World Order. Yeah, bound. This is a nightmare with ICE. This is truly, it's really happening. Like, it's like, you know, and it's like, it almost feels like nobody wants people like me to be right. You know, no one wants the assholes who have been like, I don't know, man, shit smells like fascism to me. Whoa, bro, whoa, what are you talking about? Whoa, Godwin's Law, whoa, what you talking about? I don't know, bro, seems like a stupider version of fascism. I don't know. It's unique, but it seems it's got a lot of parallels here. Oh, come on, jeez. Oh, they're building concentration camps. Oh, in a mosquito infested. They're gonna put them in fucking tin sheds in a mosquito infested swamp, putting up, literally calling it Alligator Alcatraz, putting up a sign, being proud of this. Yeah, Tisrael. Yeah, no, I mean, Elon Musk has turned Grok into a little version of him. And it's starting to speak from the first person perspective as if Grok is like an Elon clone. And it's full blown Hitler, it's like full blown. I mean, guys, it was a Sieg Heil. He's a fucking Nazi. And he's a dumb Nazi though, right? Because he hasn't done the reading, you know. He probably hasn't even read through Mein Kampf all the way, right? He's a poser. He's been a poser all of his life, right? But rich kids get away with being posers, you know, because they got the money to back it up, right? So you can just fake it all the way through. And you see this with rich people, especially celebrities. They just try on different personas sometimes. Right? It's like, oh, I'm this now. And that's really cool in a way. But in a different way, it's very shallow, you know, because they're just experimenting at, you know, like they're 15 years old, right? Like, I'm punk, or I'm this, I'm that. And it's like, oh, I'm a Nazi, but I haven't really done the reading and stuff. I'm just, you know, basic level, watched a few History Channel documentaries and thought this Hitler guy was pretty cool. He's a Nazi. He's a goddamn Nazi.
Whatever, come up with an elaborate. Oh, but one of my eyes is blurry. I have low blood sugar. It was an emergency. You know, the whole time you're eating this bowl, you're rehearsing. You're rehearsing this lie.
No, bound TRS. Don't. If a corporate Democrat wins, and somehow Donald Trump and the rest of the Republican establishment step down and allow this Democratic president to sit in that incredibly powerful seat where they have basically dictatorial control after the Supreme Court says they do, which is highly unlikely. I'm talking there's like a 10% chance. That's how likely we're going to see just a regular Democrat election. If that were to happen with, like, I don't know, let's say a Cory Booker or a Pete Buttigieg, those motherfuckers wouldn't close. Whoops, wrong button. Those motherfuckers wouldn't close ICE. They wouldn't close ICE. Barack Obama didn't touch it. Kept everything alive from that ridiculous, display of excess after 9/11 by George W. Bush. Homeland security, right? That was a new thing, calling America the homeland. Now it's become normalized. Democrats do it too. The homeland? What are we, fucking Germany?
These people are just like, we'll figure it out when we cross that bridge.
We'll cross that bridge the seconds before we get to it.
Why are you still thinking about this guy?
There's a lot going on.
New squid.
But yeah, bound. They're sloshing around money like crazy. It might be a good opportunity to get a ridiculously high wage and be wildly unqualified to do, jack shit probably.
Games is out. Even these two.
All right, goofball.
They're like, okay, let's go into PR mode on this. So, oh, wait, he's saying something. Okay, we're going with the why you so interested in this defense.
Why are we talking about this?
Okay, so glad to be part of this prestigious position here.
Because that's what innocent guys do, right?
Glenn.
Hey, it's cute that Breaking Points interviews Glenn Greenwald without acknowledging that he is a biased Russian shill. Isn't that cute? How Crystal from Breaking Points does interviews with Glenn Greenwald about Jeffrey Epstein without asking a single question about why he's so comically biased for the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Isn't that cute? We're just back to normal, right? Obvious clown when it comes to the invasion of Ukraine, obviously biased. Well, we're just going to ignore that. Yeah, all right. Well, we're going to pretend like you're an expert still. Look, man, I don't care if you're academic. Okay? He's not intellectually honest about the invasion of Ukraine, right? How many questions do you think I could ask him before he brings up the Donbass, right, in like 2014 or 2013 when Russia did a shadow invasion with a bunch of unmarked, mercenaries without fucking whenever that was. I mean, it was 2008, right? But when they went into Ukraine, when they went into the Donbass and did a little shadow invasion. Oh, no. Ukraine attacked citizens. Russia to the rescue. Ukraine was just attacking citizens randomly in that area. Buys the bullshit and spreads it. But we're not going to talk about that. He's talking about Jeffrey Epstein, so it's all good now. Soon Grok is going to unite with ChatGPT. No, I mean, this is the thing, Tisriel. ChatGPT wants fucking nothing to do with Grok. And here's the thing. All this meddling that Elon Musk is doing is making the tool useless. Okay? It doesn't really matter if you agree or don't agree. The tool needs to reflect reality for it to be useful in a broader sense. What Elon Musk is attempting to do is he's completely ruining the product. He's turning the AI into a Cybertruck. You can only pump, billions of dollars into something so long before you have to start making money off it. And I think that's what's going to happen with Grok is that people, he's going to try to sell Grok to the larger, to the enterprise market, right? Hey, use my AI, et cetera, et cetera. He's trying to get the government to use it exclusively, right? Which Donald Trump might, because it'll lie for Donald Trump, but in terms of it receiving some kind of is it going to be more popular than Chat GPT? I don't think so. I don't really think companies are going to be investing in Grok over Chat GPT or a Claude or Anthropic's product or whatever the fuck, right? I think Claude is Anthropic. I don't fucking know. There's a billion of them right now.
Son Parker. Paul Bet Davidson. Earlier today, the Justice Department issued a statement which it essentially announced.
Fuck you. Why don't you lick Putin's boots, Glenn? Why don't you give Putin's boots a big fucking polish, Glenn?
That they really no longer considered any of the.
Oh man, Glenn.
Yeah, I didn't read to the end there that you were referencing the AI from I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream. I really should just read that story to the stream. It's a very short story. It's a fucking good one though.
Glenn is really shining in this segment. Let's see that tippy tap again.
Essentially announced that they really no longer considered any of the.
He is an underrated expert in the art of being catty. Very underrated. Yeah. He needs to lead into that more. Yeah, here we go with this crap. Bitch. This kind of thing. Okay, guys, sorry to derail this thing.
It's demented. Please let us know. Please let us know.
But again, underrated cattiness master Glenn Greenwald. Check this one out.
Where President Trump was interviewed just 2 months before the election.
Right.
I own it. I've played through a portion of the Nazi doctor one of the section. I haven't played through all of them yet. But yeah, I got through a portion of the one where you play as the ex-Nazi doctor.
The incredibly dynamic, super charismatic, always very insightful,
who I don't think was in the
innovative
story.
Lex Friedman.
Hey, give that guy a break.
Basket of energy and charisma. Totally see why he just exploded out of nowhere and became this major podcast host. And he.
Oh man!
Damn.
Hey, Glenn. Hey, show that moron some respect. Hey, show that charmless moron some respect. Hey.
Yeah, Tisreal.
Hey,
yeah.
Shut up. No, I get it. Hey, shut up, Glenn.
Good game.
Hey, give that dolt a break.
I know it's weird to say. Nimdoc, yeah, it's weird to say, but the game is excellent. The game is like literally one of the best. It's like top 10 adventure games ever made, right? If you can stand the point and click stuff. But the subject matter is no fucking joke.
What? No, don't give him a break.
And he was interviewing President Trump. It was a pretty friendly interview. And he asked him about the Epstein case. And here's what President Trump said just 2 months before the election.
It's weird, but a lot of big people went to that island.
Right.
Unfortunately, I was not one of them.
It's just very strange for a lot of people.
Stone cold liar. You can really tell when he's lying too. Look at his face. Stone cold lie.
Unfortunately, I was not one of them.
Look at the face. Look at the face. I mean, come on, man. Stone cold lie. And it wasn't me.
Went to that island.
Right.
Unfortunately, I was not one of them.
It's just very strange for a lot of people that the list of clients that went to the island has not been made public.
Right.
Yeah. It's very interesting, isn't it?
Very sleepy.
Probably will be.
Lex Friedman should call his podcast The Ambient Hour.
Yeah.
What's the guy's name? Lexington Friedson. Good night with Lex Friedman.
Bye-bye. Sleepy
Have a
time.
nice sleep with Lex
Sleepy
Friedman.
time.
Okay. Hey, shut up. Hey, shut up, me. Give that boring guy a break, that terrible guy a break. Okay.
By the way. Probably.
So if you're able to, you'll be.
Yeah, I'd certainly take a look at it. Now, Kennedy's interesting because it's so many years ago. You know,
topic
they
change.
do that for danger, too, because, you know, it endangers certain people, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
So Kennedy is very different from...
Why would it endanger anybody? Huh? It's dangerous. It's so dangerous.
the Epstein thing.
Right.
Yeah, I'd be inclined to do the Epstein. I'd have no problem with it.
Another stone cold lie. And this time we, of course, know.
Okay.
So
Glenn, no attitude on this one, man. Give that criminal a break. Okay, go ahead, man.
you know, that's that. I think what is important here too.
Yeah. So, you know, yeah, you know it, you know.
So, you know, that's
Yeah. You know,
Got him.
you know, it's kind of weird, you know,
Slam
that
dunk.
there's anybody out there who's still like, oh my God, we got to see that list. Finally.
Oh, we're gonna see that list, you know.
Whenever that interview was with the dynamic, inspiring Lex Friedmanton, I feel like that little bit right there should be enough to like throw you in jail for life, basically. Yeah. So if you become president, if there's a list, are you gonna like release that or what's up with that? Well, you know, we'll take a look at that. We'll take a strong, hearty look at that.
Yeah.
But you know, just so you know, there's other stuff out there. There's other stuff out there. What do you mean?
Plenty of fish in the sea.
Plenty. What do you mean? What kind of fish? What? Plenty of fish. Remember that app? That was a dating app, I believe. What happened to all those apps? Remember LimeWire? Kazaa. Remember that? All right, can we go back
That's not a dating app.
a little bit? No, we can't. I'm already on this now.
so, you know, that's that. I think what
Okay, guys, sorry about this, but big congratulations to Glenn.
Just on Margaret?
you know,
Big congratulations on joining the drop, the prestigious drop situation.
you know,
He made him
You know?
into the drop.
By coming in and being part of the cover-up.
Right.
So this is hilarious, right? This is really something. The theatrics. I really do think this man is a sociopath. I don't think he believes 80%. Like, he's really, really good at this performance. But I don't think at the end of the day, he believes any of it. You know, I think at one point there was a legitimate guy, right, that was like, oh, this is cool, this conspiracy stuff, and oh, I found my niche, right? And then, you know, he just started lying about stuff, and no one cared. People just believed him, and it was just one lie after the other, after the other, after the other. And what happens to a guy who's like, I mean, I'm making this shit up. You know, like when you're sitting in your car alone, you know, driving back from your mistress's house, you know, to your wife who's going to divorce you soon, and your kids who fucking hate you, even though you buy them everything and give them everything. You have to know, I'm just making this shit up. You know, the FEMA camp stuff, right? I was just making that shit up. I saw a couple photos of something and I spiraled it into some story. Then I sold more supplements. I sold more stuff. I made more money. I had more viewers. And I did that for years and years and years and years, and I just keep doing it. I don't think he believes his own bullshit. We've seen him come out and say, like, Trump is ruining my life. We've seen him come out and say that. Because he's emotional. Because he's an emotional wreck. But I don't think he's one of these guys that believes his bullshit. Like Marjorie Taylor Greene, I think, I don't know. It's really tough to tell sometimes, but I don't think he believes it. Schizo, I do think he's like, you know, has like bipolar or something, right? He's got some probably mental health stuff going on, Alex Jones. But this whole like, oh, my principles, I can't believe it. Oh, the bigotry was so great. And no, we're cleaning up America, cleaning up the trash. Right. So now we're totally cool with all the racism stuff. We're totally cool with all that. You know, kick them all out. That's really great. That's going to make America great again. It's going to make me great America for me. What are you talking about? Your fucking mansion is upkept by a bunch of illegal immigration. This guy has a whole compound. You tell me he doesn't have, you know, housekeepers and all that kind of shit? It's a fucking multimillionaire.
I'm glad this guy parked. You know, Alex is gonna cause like a 40-car pileup in downtown Austin with the way he uses both hands to make videos while he's driving on a highway most of the time. Good for.
Look at his fucking car. What is that? Top of the line Escalade of some sort. Fucking monster. Look at that. Let's look at. He's driving a monster truck. It's got a whole third layer back there.
For you, man. Good for you.
You know, down by coming in and being part of the cover-up, the Trump administration has, become part of it. I mean, it's just you
wow,
can't.
big shocker. Decades-long friend of Jeffrey Epstein, known for a fact he flew on the pedo plane. Totally went to the fucking island. All of this was stone cold fact before you started gargling his nuts, Alex. I mean, if there was ever a man that needs to sit down and shut the fuck up, and I'm talking not a peep, it's this bald idiot. You know what I'm talking about? I mean, I'm talking about billions of people on planet Earth, and there's one man at the very top of this list that needs to sit down and shut the fuck up about Donald Trump. And just like, the only thing I want to hear was like, I was wrong. And then I sit down and then I say nothing. Right? Can you think of a single human being that needs to sit down and shut the fuck up more than Alex Jones about Donald Trump betraying him? You know what I mean? There's not a fiddle small enough. We don't have a machine capable of playing the fiddle small enough. For, you know what I mean? Come on. Just stop talking about it, man. Just start talking about aliens or so. Just pivot away from politics and just don't talk about this shit anymore. You rube. You fool. You're pathetic, Alex, because why is he doing all this? To protect his fucking pitiful empire.
See it any other way.
Okay.
So I'm I just got to the office. I'm gonna go throw up, actually. And
Whoa.
happens every few years. It's really, really bad.
Fuck you.
I mean, I'm physically gonna puke
Fuck
probably
you.
right now.
Calm your ass
My
down,
mouth is
man.
watering right now.
I'm gonna
I
puke
don't
on
need
your
any more
fucking
details.
face.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
Because I have integrity.
Oh, yeah. Shut the fuck. Are you... Integrity. There are hundreds of hours of recordings of this man warning basically about a Donald Trump getting into office and doing the damage that he is literally doing. And you are literally inside of his anus, Alex Jones. There's hundreds of hours of this guy talking about the Antichrist. And here he is wearing orange makeup and a diaper. And you're right up in there, man.
Well,
And,
okay.
I just really need the Trump administration to succeed and to save this country, and they're doing so much good.
So much good. All the bigotry, the racism, the hatred, the ignorance, the malfeasance, the corruption. Loved it. I have integrity. It doesn't happen just because you say it, Alex.
That's true.
And then for them to do something like this,
It's unbelievable, man.
it hurts my guts out.
Yep.
And they'll think it's all funny. Oh, look, Alex is sad. MAGA's tearing itself apart.
Nah. It's okay.
Your globalist masters literally want you to eat bugs and live in a 5G 200 square foot coffin apartment.
That's what you got, man? My globalist masters? Can we talk about your globalist master? You puppet, you shill, you fucking weapon. And he's looking at the camera like he just fucking slam dunked it. This fucking fool.
Hey, what did I do? Calm down.
So I'm just processing this right now.
Take your time.
I don't know on what
Sit and
planet
spin, dude.
What kind of car
comes
is
from
that?
all this good stuff in the real world. And
Guarantee you his car is called something like Enforcer, Defender, Explorer X, Triple XL, Double Primo, probably I paid an extra $500,000 for the interior.
still being demonized by the corporate media. And constant lies like, oh, there was no...
And now we're getting into improv territory. Do an outline. Even if you're doing a car video, even if you're on the highway,
Welcome back,
endangering the lives of
Smash. Good to see
everyone,
you.
including children, with your videos. Do an outline, man.
Motherfucking Ozempic Jones over here. Ozempic Jones. You know why he had to plug in Ozempic? Because he doesn't have the integrity. He doesn't have the force of will. He doesn't have that willpower. He's actually a total fucking fraud. And the moment a shortcut came along, he took it. You know why? Because he's a rich, pampered fucking millionaire.
Do the key points.
The Department of Justice and the FBI released the 11-hour camera footage of the Special Housing Unit, or SHU, where Jeffrey Epstein was being held the night that he offed himself. And
well, I can't hear you, Pimento. I can't understand your chat. What are you saying? What?
we already have a lot of questions, and I will answer every single one of them in this.
Okay, this guy is my new favorite YouTuber. This is always fun to just like stumble across a channel. You know.
Whoops, guys. The critical 1 minute is cut. Just it's cut now. No biggie. This is just like 9/11, the Pentagon footage. This is just like 9/11, dude. Whoops, magically. Oh, we took the footage from the gas station. Whoop, it's gone. Whoop. Same shit here. And we're just supposed to just believe our lying eyes. And it's so sloppy. It's so sloppy. All right. I've given you a chance. It's time for you to go. Bye now. It's a really good troll when people do that. Like, it really does work to derail the stream. Like, oh, is my mic not working? I can see my mic fucking working, asshole. But if you're a rookie streamer, it'll fuck with you. It'll be like, oh, fuck, great. What the fuck's wrong with my mic?
You're like, what the hell is this stupid thing? You know, then you look down at their subscribers. You're like, whoa, 4 trillion. Never heard of it. But this guy, he's the body language expert.
You know,
I really like this guy. Seems like a cool
you guys
guy.
let me know immediately if my mic is
expert.
muted. I
a
appreciate
lot of this
it.
video is, he's kind of speculating. Okay, so these weirdos
Jesus
who
Enrique
work in
Rosa.
the justice,
Okay,
the
Enrique
department
Rosa.
of the prestigious Department of Justice, who are doing
prestigious.
justice.
Yeah.
Show them some respect, man. They release some kind of video that doesn't really show anything. And the body language expert, Jesus Enrique Rosa, show him some respect, or you get thrice of these.
Enrique
He's
Rosa.
analyzing this. I like this guy. He's cool. Here we go.
Inside that bar. Now, this is the thing. This is one. I think this is the greatest red flag of all this video. Of the 11 hours of this video. This is hands down one of the most concerning red flags.
Yeah.
This video is
wow. It's amazing how he because like this would be like, okay, a 5-minute, maybe 10-minute discussion, and he stretches it out. You know, the video being spliced is incredibly suspicious. What do we got? We got nothing. Some dude standing there after it's spliced, but then he walks out of frame. That's all we got. It's obvious it's cut because those are the fucking assassins that put the rope around his fucking neck and tied him up, man. Because that's exactly what happened. It's really easy, guys. Okay, they just walk in. All right, they walk in. They hold him down. They force it around his neck. They hang it up. They hang it up there. Tie it up, and then they walk out like like it's another sunny day. Okay, it's real simple shit.
not continuous. This video was spliced, was cut. And how do we know? Because there's one full...
In other words, you might say that
Videos aren't real.
The body language bodies. What I've noticed that in the upper right corner of this video, something appeared that hasn't appeared in any other point of the video so far.
Video controls.
What is this? This absolutely...
All right, so this is obviously UI that maybe would appear only when there's a mouse on screen or something like that, which... You know, I mean, that'd be an indication that they were like, okay, pause it right here. We're going to cut it. You know, we're going to cut it right here. Yeah, it could be that, could be anything. You know, obviously this is a UI though for the video editing, or for not editing, but for the maybe for the security camera software, maybe. You know,
absolutely looks like a menu of a video editing app.
Exactly.
You see the usual.
I love this guy, and he did apparently put a lot of work into watching hours and hours of this footage to catch the suspicious stuff. But if you think that we are not taking drops from this guy's channel, you are out yo goddamn mind. You are out of your
toilet
if you think that's true.
What happened? What happened in there? We're here. I'm going to do that again.
Yeah, man. Yeah, anyway, this is kind of a crazy video that Jesus Enrique Rosas uploaded. Jesus Enrique.
You know?
It's a crazy video he uploaded. It seems like a lot of work that he did here, because this is like, what, like 11 or 12 hours of security footage?
Yeah.
Looks like he went through all of it. And he's like, this is kind of weird. It's kind of odd. This thing's 40 minutes. I watched all of this. A lot of it is him speculating, but there is a weird thing is it's like, oh, there's cameras all over this cell block. The only one that we are releasing of is one that's the furthest away from this guy. So yeah, the other thing he points out is like, oh, there's like a minute of footage missing. That's weird. And also it's like there's people who we don't know who the hell they are coming in and out, being weird. You know, so they release this footage and they're like, look, this proves everything. And it's like, what the hell is this?
It doesn't prove shit.
What is this? This doesn't really prove.
Confuses, which is the point,
hold on.
Right? Because it just further confuses things, right? It's like, well, they'll point to it as proof, and other people will, you know, poke holes in it and look hysterical and look ridiculous as they're trying to, like, you know, call this stuff out.
Second, you know, let's back up. Let's look at this historic footage again.
Jailhouse tape on the next set.
Yeah, sure. Could I just interrupt for 1 second?
Right.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein?
I'm listening.
You know,
Megyn Kelly. Okay, let's see what this lady has to say. Okay.
Good grief.
Hey, Megan. We'll watch the language.
That was no bueno, guys.
Hey.
That was no bueno. Okay, President Trump.
I love the racism. I love that brown people feel scared again, and I love that gay people don't feel welcome in their homes anymore. That's really great. That's making America great again. I don't like it when Donald Trump doesn't just admit to the whole world that he's a full-blown pedophile. I don't understand why he would try to cover that up. I mean, I thought we were trying to drain the swamp here. Anyway, here's 3 white guys to talk about this.
Had the same problem there that Caroline Leavitt had yesterday. The dodge should not be obvious. It should be subtle. It should be deftly worked into a more substantive answer. It shouldn't be.
Right. That's how to lie. Yeah, that's how to lie better, Megan. Hey, I'm Megyn Kelly. If anybody knows lying, it's me. And that guy's not doing it right. Okay, anyway, this is pretty funny, this Megyn Kelly. What is her name? Megyn Kellen? Megyn Kelly. Helen Kelly? The hell is the lady's name? Megan. This video is funny because she's like, oh, that's sick. She goes on and on. Check out this transition. Master of transitions, Megyn Kelly. Check this out.
Since when? Since when?
It was so obvious. Trump didn't even sound persuasive, Tom. You know, when Trump's genuinely annoyed that something comes up,
let Megan talk.
You know, I am in.
Oh, so now they know what Donald Trump looks like when he lies. Oh, that's curious. That's curious. It's so obvious to me, especially in moments like this, that people like Megyn Kelly are 100% totally aware. I'm a scumbag shill, right? I'm here to shill for this toxicity. It gets views. It gets money. I know it's negative. I know what I'm doing is wrong deep in my heart somewhere. I'm doing it anyway for the ching ching so people know who Megyn Kelly is. Okay, and then of course they wrap all that shit up in a bunch of fucking justifications and make themselves the heroes of their own stories, right? But that's what this shit's about, right? And when they're like, "Oh, he's lying about this," how the fuck do you know? All of a sudden, the most blatant lies that he's ever told are truths, according to you. But now, all of a sudden, we know what it looks like. It tells me 100% that they're sociopathic nihilists, right? They're here for the ching ching. They're here for to be a celebrity, to be Megyn Kelly instead of just some regular schmuck, right? It's important, you know. There's people will throw away their morals for the folks in the chat, the regulators in the chat. It's like, no, I would never throw away my morals, right? At the end of the day, look, even if you're trying to give me a bunch of money, you know, to sit in front of this microphone and spread lies every day, I just couldn't do it. Eventually, I just couldn't do it. You know, Megyn Kelly goes, no, I can do that. I don't have morals. I don't need that. I sleep like a baby, and I don't think twice about the damage that I'm doing. Because I'm Megyn Kelly. You know who I am. I don't know who you are, peasant. Right? I drive an Escalade, and I live in the Hamptons or wherever the fuck she lives. Right? Some nice, incredibly nice white neighborhood. Right? Right? That's why I do this. You know, your morals are a weakness. That's who these people are. Okay. Yeah, but I'm just trying to give, you know, Smash. Yeah, I think you understand what I'm doing. Like, I'm trying to give you the perspective from their, you know, from where they're coming, right? It's like, well, you know, I'm gonna die the great Megyn Kelly. You know, you're gonna know who I am, good or bad. You know who I am, which is a kind of it's intoxicating, right? To be like, well, my name's in the history books. I did it. Look, Daddy, I did it. And it's like, yeah, so's Adolf Hitler for all the wrong fucking reasons, right? You know, it's all the wrong fucking reasons. But it's kind of a gamble as well, because it's like, well, if this side that I'm defending, if they win, they write the history books, right? Imagine Trump, you know, the Trump regime wins, the MAGA crowd wins, and they define history for the next decades, right?
Indignant that you would bring up Jeffrey Epstein when there are more important
pretty weird,
subjects.
right?
Weird. He's not going to admit
That was weird.
guys.
Since President Trump was sworn in, his administration has made enormous progress at a breakneck pace. But don't forget, while they're moving mountains for the good of the nation, you've got your own.
You might have wanted it.
Holy shit. Did he cut that? Was that? He cut that, right? Yeah. Okay, he cut. It's only like 1 minute later if you look at the timeline. He moved it like 1 minute.
Pretty weird, right?
Weird. Yeah. No, that
really
was
weird.
That was weird.
Since President
Wow. Wait, did he cut the 1457? Wait, is that mine or is that his? That's mine. Shit.
It's pretty weird, right?
Okay, he cut that.
Yeah. No, that
really
was
weird.
That was weird.
Since President Trump was sworn in, his administration has made enormous progress at a breakneck pace. But don't forget, while they're moving mountains for the good of the nation, you've got your own.
You might have wanted to might have wanted to check what you were saying in this ad before you tacked it on to the end there, Megan. What the hell is this guy doing? He's not even really trying to lie about this pervert.
He's kind of a bad liar.
Anyway, go to the ad. Hey, this
Donald
guy's
Trump
amazing.
is our king, and I gobble his
Anyway,
nuts
do you
every
want to buy
day.
gold?
Own personal savings to worry about. And one of the best ways to look after your savings is through
Got 30
diversification,
seconds, yeah.
particularly with gold. Like from
right.
Birch Gold Group.
Hey, you gotta check these ads first.
You know what's ironic? Because Donald Trump's policies are so shitty, the gold and silver have been going up. If you don't know anything about commodities, and I know very little, but I do know that gold and silver is kind of the place where you park your money as a last resort. You know, when you think things are going to go really tits up, you know, and you don't even trust putting your money in real estate or other like bonds. If you don't trust, you know, putting your money in bonds, you know, with a modest return there. you dump your money into gold, and then that causes. So anytime you see gold and silver going up rapidly, kind of out of the blue, it's almost always an indicator that a bunch of people with a bunch of money are freaking out because they don't want it to they don't want it to stay liquid, so they don't trust the currency markets. But they also don't trust, like I said, the real estate markets. They're not trusting the stock market. They're not trusting the bond market. So they're like, shit. they just gobble up gold and silver. So it's ironic that she's shilling gold in a way.
Yeah. Okay, let's check this out, man. I need more analysis on this. Let's check this out.
Former CIA analyst Buck Sexton joins me now.
Whoa.
She's a piece of shit.
Hey,
Dragon-like
we're
behavior.
gonna tap the brakes there, man. What's the guy's name?
Former CIA analyst Buck Sexton joins me now.
Buck Sexton. Okay. And now here for commentary is real guy Buck Sexton.
Real human being.
That's enough of that.
Real person.
This is Fox News. What are people saying
Real
in the
person.
comments here?
Buck Sexton.
I had hoped
Yeah,
this
real
new
person from the
administration would be
CIA.
honest, but they proved me wrong. Whoa.
Oh, Tisrael, that's funny.
Jeez, man, that's a little. You're taking it too far. We can trust no one in government either side. Hey, this is a blatant lie. Hey, shut up, man.
There's just so many contradictions. Maybe the biggest fumble.
Right, Pat.
It's not maybe. It is the biggest fumble of the administration's.
That's one.
And that's so wild to me, right? All the other stuff is great. The ice nightmare, right? As I've said before, right, with the other person there. All the other egregious corruption, the dismantling of the Justice Department, the dismantling of constitutional norms, of legal precedent, of any legal. We're not just talking about abortion, but just legal precedent in general, giving complete dictatorial power to the president, activist judges in the Supreme Court blatantly acting against the interest of the country, against the interest of the Constitution, directly for the interests of Donald fucking Trump. All that great. Loved it. Put the crown on his head and gave him a kiss on the cheek, right, PBD? Put the crown on his head and gave him a little kiss on the ring. You're pathetic, right? Because they masquerade as men. You know what this guy does in his fucking 40s, touching 50? You know what this guy does? Goes to the fucking clubs. Goes to the clubs with his red-faced minion. Chatting it up with girls and stuff, half his age. Hey, you want to come back to my place? Suck my 50-year-old dick? Hey, I'm a millionaire. I'm on TV. I interviewed Donald Trump or whatever. Hey. Pathetic. Okay? He's a hollow man. And once again, just like with Megyn Kelly, it's like, well, I've kind of failed in my other endeavors, but there's ching here. I don't need morals. That's really the number one prerequisite, right? Throw your morals in the trash, okay? Because if you have a modicum of shame, a modicum of morality, you can't sit in front of the microphone and be like, all the other stuff has been really great and it's been nothing but a wild success and this has just been big W's everywhere and triggered liberals everywhere we look. You got to throw your shame, right? And look at the crappy Chinese made products all behind him. Valuetainment, his little books, his fucking hats and crap, all made in China, Taiwan, Vietnam. He's a fraud, just like Megyn Kelly, like hollow, sociopathic, nihilistic kind of people, right? Like right. There's ching here. There's money to be found. What do I got to say? Tie these people to a chair, and try to extract what they actually believe. You might be shocked.
Way to describe it. This is the biggest fudge up.
Strategy
this is the biggest goof so far. Guys, I don't say this kind of thing lightly, but this is the biggest mix 'em up I've seen yet. Play the slide whistle noise. Thank you. That's what this is like.
You know,
The biggest
RM
fumble.
Brown.
Okay.
Oh, he's so
It's not
good.
maybe. It is the biggest fumble of the administration's.
Biggest fumble, right?
One of the items that
not the kidnappings, not. I mean, just I've already said it. But you know what I mean? But this, it's
they were
just
trying to attack.
he's
Yep,
kidnapping
that's an item.
people.
So far in the first, 6 months of being in office, 5.5 months of being in office.
Great, Patrick.
Vinny, your thoughts on this entire matter here?
I can't wait.
There's a guy, pretty short time you guys are going to know, George Orwell. Was that his name?
Yes.
George Orwell, who said,
George
the
Orwell.
party told you to reject the evidence of your eyes and ears. It was their final, most essential command, which basically means when
Baby's first political opinions. Okay, this guy's been chasing skirt his whole life. He stumbled into this, right? If I say the right things, if I'm anti-woke, whatever that means, and whatever that means is whatever Joe Rogan says. Just emulate these other meatheads. You know what Joe Rogan would have, you know what George Orwell would have said about you, Vinny? You know what I mean? How he would have described you in one of his dystopian novels, Vinny? As a naive man-child, useful idiot for an empire that wears him like a fucking puppet. How would George Orwell describe you, Vinny? You're pathetic. You're absolutely pathetic, because real men inform themselves. Real men wouldn't be a fucking shill for a teetotaling New York City fancy lad masquerading as a populist. But it's about that money, huh? It's so you can go to the fucking clubs and say, I'm a celebrity. I rub elbows with this and that. How many names do you think he's dropping to a 19-year-old college graduate? Right? Oh, hey, honey, I'm on the PBD podcast. Hey, honey, you should come with us. Yeah, I'm going to interview Donald Trump, and he's retweeted me. Yeah, I'm a big political guy. I got Joe Rogan's number in my cell phone. And oh, yeah. Come back to my $300,000 Cybertruck. I got it wrapped. That's who these people really are. Look at this absolute child. Have you never read 1984? Have you not even watched the film, Vinny? In your hot tub, smoking a stogie, watching it on screen? Or do you just exclusively watch Scarface because you think, I need to emulate that too? Throw it up on your fucking screen there, Vinny. 1984. Think about it. Think about who you are inside this world that he creates. Vinny, the most strongest thing it said was not to believe our own eyes. Wow, that's prophetic. That's the first time I've read that.
Was that his name?
Yes.
George Orwell, who said,
George
the
Orwell
party
Bush.
told you to reject the evidence of your eyes and ears. It was their final, most essential command, which basically means
Whoa. I gotta let
joke.
that soak in.
Millions of people watch this crap. And it's not just entertainment, it's reinforcing political dogmas and beliefs. And it's like, you're allowed to be stupid in America. Free speech, right? You're allowed to be dumb. But you know how YouTube puts a notice on a video about, if someone mentions COVID-19, they're like, oh, here's COVID-19's a real thing, and here's the link to it. There needs to be something for these guys where it's like, there's got to be some kind of I don't know, man. How do we do this? How do we let regular folks know you probably shouldn't be taking political advice from this guy? But how do you create a system where it's like he could change that, where he's like, well, I don't know, people are like, I'm getting called out as a complete fraud because I don't know anything. And then he starts hitting the books, right? Vinny starts hitting the books. He's like, oh, I actually just read 1984, and it's actually really eye-opening, PBD. It's actually kind of interesting, Paul Bet Davidson. Yeah, I mean, it was like, you know, the big brother was spying on him. He wasn't allowed to have any private thoughts. And, you know, it kind of feels like there's a lot of, I was just, you know, while reading it, I kept noticing a lot of parallels to like ICE. Right. And then and then he like, oh, hey, wow, he qualifies. Right. Bing, bing, bing. Oh, he gets some enlightenment points. I don't know. How would we do this? How do we, you know, because Destiny is a great example, right? He's faking it. He's faking his academics. Destiny hasn't really thought deep about some of these things, hasn't really gone into the nitty gritty and read some of the, you know, some of the important works. And he just defends neoliberalism now. He's kind of a lost boy right now. He doesn't even know who to defend after that embarrassment, telling everybody that Joe Biden or Kamala Harris was guaranteed to win. It's like he didn't even know what the hell was going on. So like, you know, he's sticking mainly, from what I've noticed from Destiny, he's sticking mainly to the drama shit now. But the same rating would apply, right? He's like, well, he really plays more StarCraft than he does talking about, you know, these important topics, right? He talks more about Alinity and XQC than he talks about Donald Trump. God, how would that work?
I got to recover from that one. Thank you, Vinny, for that. Oh my God, thank you, Vinny, for that. Vinny, you are
how
a
do we
source
quantify
of
the
wisdom
frauds?
and yelling, mostly
Right?
yelling.
I want to know when they came in.
How do we quantify the grifters? How do we quantify the frauds and give them like a fraud grifter rating? You know what I mean? Like, oh, this guy's mostly full of shit, right? Scott Galloway, great example. Scott Galloway, 50% bullshit, 50% corporate grifting, 50% pretty good populism. Okay, Scott Galloway is incredibly well read. Scott Galloway is incredibly eloquent, great vocabulary. You know, rich as fuck. Right? He's got all this, you know, all this shit, but at least 50% full of shit, 60% possibly. We got to quantify the grifting. This is an idea. I should, you know, it'd be incredibly controversial, right? Because it's totally subjective. Like, how do you even do this? Like, it has to be subjective in its own way. But I think this is important. People need to know these guys are full of fucking shit, left or right. Who's full of shit? Okay. So for me, it would be like, he's not full of shit, but he's also not as educated as he should be. Right? He doesn't lie about not being educated, but he's definitely not, you know, he doesn't have the academics. He doesn't have the history. He smokes weed too much, right? Like he's not a grifter, but he's not, you know, he's not a fucking Slavoj Žižek, right? He's not, you know, he's not a Zateo, fella from Zateo, right? Mehdi Hassan. I'm no Mehdi Hassan, right? I'm nowhere even close to Mehdi Hassan, right? Like Mehdi Hassan's like a 10 out of 10, right? Fully informed, academic, professional, principled, you know, and big fat nutsack, right? He's the full fucking package, Mehdi Hassan, right? I think we can all say that, right? So I got a long way to go, but I'm not a liar, right? I'm not trying to lie to anybody. I'm trying to find the fucking truth legitimately, but there's so many of these guys that are like, the truth, fuck that shit. Where's the ching ching?
Of wisdom and yelling, mostly yelling.
I want to know, when they came in with all these promises, who is the main guy? Who is the top person? It's not Trump. I hate when people are like, oh, Trump was with girls. No, I don't want to hear none of that shit.
Corwin, that would actually be legitimately funny. He just stops. He's like mid rant. He goes, I'm hungry. He like reaches he has a key ring of all the different lockers, finds the key, opens it up, pulls out a pristine, perfectly prepared sandwich. Exactly. Sandwich. It has to be with a little olive. Perfectly prepared ham sandwich. Okay. Pulls that bitch out and just starts eating it in silence. He just starts eating it. You know, I'm working on my garage. Well, once this other project is done, the garage is going to be my main project because I want to have a studio, You know, have like a desk. So I'm gonna put that in the ideas because that's actually really funny. Just have just make fun of PBD. Just randomly, one of my streams have a bunch of lockers. And just start pulling stuff out and eating it or whatever. That'd be really funny.
Trump was never with little kids. The left would have jumped on his ass earlier.
Right,
Who is the main black?
It's an interesting squaring of the circle there. I want answers, not too many. I'm sick of being lied to by most people. You know, there's a few who can, but I'm sick of this crap. Not totally sick of it.
Not totally.
You know?
I mean,
I just want to preface what I'm saying with some of it's fine.
Sandwich inside.
I'm
Yeah,
pissed off.
Somebody has that, and here's my thing, Pat. Stop gaslighting us. Stop bullshitting because we all know.
Now it's gaslighting. Now it's bullshit. That's adorable. Strategy member, thank you for telling me about that.
Here's my thing, Pat. Where'd
adorable.
Pat go? Here's my thing, Pat.
Baby's first
Hey,
day
Pat,
in politics.
Here's my thing.
Paul Davidson.
Here's my thing, Paul.
You know, angry patriot. That's what he calls. That's what this idiot calls himself because he gets so red-faced in his ridiculous rants. A real patriot actually informs himself about who the enemies of the Constitution is, right? Isn't it fair to say that if you're a patriot of the United States, you give a shit about the Constitution, right? You would give a shit about our Justice Department being compromised by activist judges who are biased. He's not concerned with any of that. He's perfectly fine with the bias. I say this 100% explicitly. This man is the exact opposite of a patriot. 100%. He's a fucking traitor. Why? He supports a traitor a political party that attempted an insurrection, makes excuses for it, and that is currently churning the Democratic president who was handed power democratically, and he's churning that position of power into a dictatorship, and he fully supports it. The exact opposite of a patriot, quite frankly. Polar opposite, bizarro world patriot. Okay? If this man's a patriot, then so were the fucking Nazis in Germany. Right?
Stop lying to us, okay? Some can keep lying. Stop gaslighting us. Yeah, some can.
Kind of.
Yeah.
It's
I didn't
okay.
say everyone.
I mean,
should stop.
All the other
Just
lies are pretty cool.
Certain ones.
All the other lies are really
What was I
based.
yelling
That's
about?
what the kids say.
God,
when
I
they're trying to
love
fuck 'em.
yelling.
They're
You're
really
going to
based.
upset somebody.
Exactly.
So, in
Adam.
my estimation, whether it's Pam Bondi, whether it's Trump himself, whether it's Bongino, whether it's Cash,
all this shit,
they're saying the following.
Right.
We're going to upset somebody here. If this thing comes out, we're going to have the richest, most powerful people in the world who we need,
100%.
whether it's Bill Gates.
Dissent is patriotism, not bootlicking.
Whether it's Leon Black, whoever it is, we need them on our team because they know all the dirty secrets out there.
All
We can't upset these guys. At the same time,
What are you carrying water
there's
for?
definitely somebody here.
Always
got to
be the guy.
Make the wrong people upset. They had to make some kind of assessment here, man. Had to make some kind of
Random
assessment here, man.
tchotchkes behind
who
him.
we gonna make?
This random fucking crap behind him. Fucking whiskey, stupid plastic skull, bunch of fake award, bunch of cheesy, crappy fucking plastic products. Rocky. You think Rocky supports MAGA? Please, does Sylvester Stallone support MAGA? I feel like there's no way. There's no way, dude. Have you seen interviews with Sylvester Stallone about Rambo? There's no fucking way Sylvester Stallone supports MAGA. Puts the Rocky behind him. Fuck you. Fuck you, you alcoholic bitch.
Obviously, we're not directly involved, despite all the evidence of such. But man, we got to make a real calculated decision here, man.
Shut the fuck up, Corwin. How about you shut the fuck up? How about you take this big, full, tall glass of shut the fuck up and have a big, deep sip?
We're gonna make somebody mad. It's almost like trying to not make your boss at Valuetainment
I'm gonna have a dainty
mad
sip from my
by
cup.
talking about it seems to be a lot of evidence that like the guy we like is kind of very much involved in this crap. It's kind of got a little bit of a conflict of interest here. Don't want to piss the wrong people off. I guess. Okay, PBD's got
2.5 hours.
Wow.
2.5 hours of this. 2.5 hours? Who's listening? Who is listening to this? Drivel. 2.5 hours of this.
like an amazing contribution here.
I couldn't handle
Paul
2.5
Davidson?
minutes.
Check out what Paul has to say. I mean, he absolutely dunks this one. Check this out.
Are you kidding me? We got flight logs, and now you're looking America in the face and you're saying this.
Shut up.
Yeah,
Tom.
so Judge O'Brown was on Alex Jones, okay?
Okay.
And you know who Judge O'Brown is. We have him on the podcast.
Yeah, he was
He's right here. He's right here.
Yeah, he's from TV, I think. Yeah.
It was incredible.
And he said, Rob, I know it's a 3-minute clip. Can you
Yeah.
get to the point of when he actually, you find it, but here's what he says. He says the president is using all the information he has to hold the establishment accountable and, what's the word? Not held hostage.
Lying?
What's the word?
Leverage them the other way.
Leverage them the other way.
Oh.
This is his.
What the fuck are you even talking about, Corwin? Huh? Just stop. Just stop. What are you even trying to do, man? Are you going to fight this shit or not? Huh? Are you going to fight this shit or not? Jesus fucking Christ, man. How far does it have to go? We got ICE has more money than the Canadian military. How far does this shit have to go before people go, okay, I guess it's okay to talk some shit. I guess that's okay now. I mean, Vosh was making this point as well. He's like, how far does this dictatorship have to go before we stop tone policing ourselves? Okay, I guess maybe it's fascism, on the fucking gulag truck on the way to Argentina. Oh, yeah, I guess maybe you do have some good points that this could have some parallels to fascism. Yeah. Yeah, okay, well, here we are at our new concentration camp in the burning sun. Great. I love being an American citizen.
Way of arresting and holding
Maybe
the
I'm being
establishment
a little
accountable.
hyperbolic.
Now,
I mean, maybe it's
Okay.
not a concentration camp.
people
that
who
it?
are
Whipping
in
me.
that
Oh,
game,
okay.
Is that it? Yeah, I mean, you might have not caught that because you're not bright, okay? Face it. But I did this. I got involved in this kind of scenario. I used to, do not laugh at this. I used to poop my pants all the time.
Oh.
Guys, that's not funny. And people, my friends.
Corwin, look, man, we're having, if we're having a person-to-person conversation sitting across each other, having a nice conversation at a cafe, and the conversation turns political, you have every right to be like, it's okay, tone it down a bit, man. We're just chilling, right? We're just chilling. In most other contexts, what's happening in Gaza, what's happening in America, what's happening across the world, in Ukraine, there's so many examples of injustice. Anger and vitriol, 100% justified. And quite frankly, motherfuckers don't want to hear it. Motherfuckers don't want to hear the tone policing. Okay? If you don't have the nutsack to get as angry as the rest of us, at least stop yanking our chains, right? At least stop yanking our collars back. Stop being an anchor. Get out of the fucking way. We need fighters. We need warriors. And yeah, that means getting a little angry sometimes. Thank you, Ponder Monkey. Good to see you.
An Andor family said, you got to stop doing
Rudeness.
that. And I said, I swear to God, I'll stop. That was
Please.
the last time. This time at the restaurant is the last
back,
time
Kronos.
I says to them. Then guess what I did? I did it again. And they said, you did it again. And then I go, this is my way of not pooping my pants. Pooping my pants is my way of not doing it. And they said, we're dumb and we're sorry. We did not understand that, and we're morons. I love the people who Paul Bet Davidson brings up as, examples of stuff. Oh, this guy said this. That's a great point, Vinny, but there's this other guy who an air conditioning unit fell out of a building and hit him in the head, and he says that the opposite. Oh, okay, well, I never considered that, Pat. When is payday?
Not yet.
Patrick. That's Vinny. Do I get direct deposit? That's what these guys should be asking Paul Bet Davidson the whole time after every monologue. Hey, Adam, what the hell do you think about this? Bup, 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 bup. Can I get direct deposit? After every chime in. Oh, wait, what the hell is this?
Huh?
Oh, this is Piers.
You know,
Corwin, we have to work out. It's in the agenda. I grow a beard. I had a beard and it covered it up really nicely, and you couldn't even tell. And I looked all manly and burly and masculine, and now I look like a little bitch. Could you maybe consider democratic socialism? Thank you so much.
Oh, that's Piers.
You know,
yeah.
Is in the Epstein list, then within weeks, apparently the list is gone. I mean, I'm looking at this photo of Jack Posobiec holding up the Epstein files. It says the Epstein files, phase 1.
Who's
but
that?
Where's phase 2? There's no phase.
Okay, this is kind of funny. How many views? Piers, the master of
these
views.
fucking clowns.
325,000 in one day. Not bad, man.
You know.
No, I promise you. I swear to God. If I'll never do it. I'll do Piers one-on-one. Okay, I'll do Piers one-on-one. I'm never doing one of these. I'm gonna say it right here. I'm too good for this. I cannot debase myself, even if it would really help the channel. Look at how embarrassing this is. What is it's turned into its own meme format. You know how like the couch, the little woman sitting on the couch surrounded by black guys. That's what this kind of feels like. It feels like 5 seconds before a bukkake. I love me some Popeyes.
You know,
is it
not
obvious?
bad, you know? Okay, so he's got this guy on. What the hell is this guy's name? Jack.
What, you got some fried chicken over there?
He was one of the
I'll
guys
take
who
one
they
of
gave
those.
like folders from Target or something. They gave him to, and they were like, "Here you go. Here's the Epstein files." And they go, "Oh yeah."
What they do?
And he
well,
was one of those guys.
we know.
Let's see
We know.
what he has to say about that.
Yeah, Jack. I mean, do you
Look,
feel
and
like
I don't mean to bring up 9/11, right? I'm sorry. I know nobody wants to talk about that, but it's very much the same thing. Don't believe your lying eyes. You know, there's a bunch of footage that exists. Oh, we got it all. We're never gonna release it. Oh, we released. Oh, here's proof. Here's proof of the Pentagon. We released a couple frames from the video, and that's it. So it's so blatant. It's so fucking blatant. Yeah, exactly, Corman. Yeah, yeah, bulletproof. What's gonna take to get you to shave everything but your neck? Okay, are we talking like all the way up here, like the from the chin up, but just leave this. Oh no, dude. Maybe I'll do a fundraiser, full Amish. I'll do a fundraiser, and if we raise like $100, then I'll do it. Well, look, Corwin, you know, I need to do a special 9/11 stream because there's so much bullshit. There's so much Alex Jones grifting, money-making nonsense. Full-on milady. I should do it. When it comes to 9/11, right? And I'm talking like, you know, grifters making shit up, right? Talking about political agendas, you know, all this kind of shit, right? Mixing in a bunch of other conspiracies. So when I talk about 9/11, I talk about very specific, very provable things, and I make it very clear that I there's certain information that I don't have, right? Like who actually did it, how it was actually done. Okay, but there are certain objective facts, and one of those objective facts is that steel framed high-rise buildings don't collapse in that manner from a fire. They don't magically 1, 2, 3 bloop bloop bloop. They don't do that when they're on fire. They burn for hours and hours and hours, and then even when they're done burning, the steel frame is mostly still intact. It doesn't, you know, push itself out of the way. The popular mechanics, you know, excuse is laughable. It's like, well, you're not a scientist, and that's true. But I'm never going to believe this idea that it just like it's like a video game. It's like Donkey Kong, right? Bling 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 bling. And then the pancake theory doesn't even explain how everything was basically falling at free fall speed, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? This gets embarrassing. Right. So we need to do a 9/11 special to talk about. But what I'm trying to, the reason why I'm bringing it up, because it's a very similar thing. How they're just blatantly lying, just like, no, it's a lie. We know it's a lie. We know it looks ridiculous. Well, actually, 3 times, Ponder Monkey, 3 times, if you recall. Building 7. But it's a very similar thing where it's like, well, it's obvious that we're pulling some shit. It's obvious, you know, like I said with the Pentagon, with the proof of the Pentagon, right, that it was a missile, or no, that it was a plane actually, but in reality, it's most likely a missile. It probably wasn't a plane. But you know, like they have all the footage. They have the gas station footage. They have the footage from the cameras that are around the Pentagon. Oh, okay, we got proof. Here's some proof. Literally like 5 frames. And then we're never going to release the full video. We're never going to talk about it again. It's obvious that it's bullshit. It's obvious that it's a lie. It's obvious that we're covering stuff up. But that's okay. The corporate captured media is going to do exactly as it's told. And eventually our silence will be a wall. And then you won't have anything else to talk about. And you'll move on to the next subject. And eventually we'll forget, right? They know these things.
And he was one of those guys. Let's see what he has to say about that.
Yeah, Jack, I mean, do you feel angry? I mean, do you feel you were used in some way?
He did nothing wrong.
Well, it's something. It's very upsetting. It's extremely upsetting to be brought in something like this, to think that you're going into a situation where, hey, we're finally going to get some of these answers that we all want. Because at the end of the day, this is all.
Okay. Keep talking. All right, gonna keep talking about this. All right.
So I mean, that's about. I'm sorry. I basically stole all of R.M. Brown's video talking. We've been talking for an hour and a half. I'm still feeling really shitty. So I hope you don't mind that I'm kind of being selfish today. You know, I've had a very hard week. Won't get into the details, right? But it's been a really rough week. But I'm mourning. Right. We're getting better. You know, we got to talk about the template, baby. You know, we got to talk about the motherfucking template. Okay? The guy we need to be emulating, the shining, bright ray of light blasting through Zoran motherfucking Mamdani. All you Jabbas, get up there and do your hut jiggle. The template, if you don't know, that's what we call him around here. Zoran Mamdani, the template, the template, the template. Okay? As in, this is the guy, progressives, democratic socialists, liberals that have a conscience, that don't agree with the neoliberal establishment, but maybe they're a little bit more centrists. This is the guy you need to be copying, okay? He took Bernie was looking around. He had his crown in his hand. Bernie was looking around. He thought about maybe giving it to AOC. But Bernie is, you know, he hasn't officially, you know, done anything. But this is the guy, right? Because before we just had Bernie, maybe AOC, maybe Ilham Omar, Nina Turner, another great example. But no, this is the guy. Because why? Because he knows how to win. Right. And that's, as much as I love Nina Turner, as much as I love AOC, you know, and AOC won, but you know what I mean? She got bogged down. Like Ilham Omar has been bogged down, you know, trying to stay a Democrat, you know, but Zoran Mamdani is, he's like, no, I'm a democratic socialist. And this is where I stand. This is, you know, and if you're voting for me, these are the principles that you're voting for. You know, I'm going to stand up for human rights. Yes, I will arrest Bibi Netanyahu. Do you know the kind of nutsack you need to have to say in front of a microphone in New York, motherfucking Pizza City, okay, and say, I'm going to arrest Bibi Netanyahu because that motherfucker's a criminal? I'm talking, you need New York-sized nuts. You need basically New York-sized pizza slice-sized nutsacks, okay, to be doing that, and the motherfucker won because he's the template. Okay, he knows how to deliver these messages to a normie audience. You know, that's like, how do you pay for it? Got him. Slam dunk. We don't have to be more careful with BB. We have to completely starve BB of weapons and support and shame him for the war criminal genocider that he is, Bibi Netanyahu. Headline here, some of Mamdani's far-left allies want to primary Hakeem Jeffries and other New York Democrats. How long have I... Whoops, wrong button. How long have I been talking about this? If you've been watching this stream, what do I talk about? What do I talk about? Primarying the neo. What is the only choice forward? It's not third party, right? And I get a lot of shit from this because everyone wants to be a third party guy. I don't want to call myself a Democrat. And I get it. I don't want to call myself a member of the party that Hillary Clinton's a member of. I get it. But what have I been saying? Because of how our two-party system is completely captured by this duopoly, they've set up a system that has made third parties unviable. It is a waste of energy. They want Nancy Pelosi would much prefer us to go into the third-party route because she knows she has the advantage there. Right? She's got the guns up on the hills, and the third-party candidates are in the valley. That's exactly where she wants us. She doesn't want us up there fighting with her up on the ridges. She wants us down in the valley where we're easy to kill. And that's exactly what they've set up for third parties, right? It's this fake path. You put all your energy, you put all your effort into this fake path. The only hope is to assimilate the neoliberal establishment. Corwin, fuck off. Thank you so much for your contributions. Fuck off. Free Palestine. Thank you so much, Corwin. Enjoy your time out. Free Palestine. Don't tell me about moderation. Okay? Don't tell me about moderation. Israel is about to steal the Gaza Strip, guaranteed, and they're doing a massive incursion into the West Bank. Take your fucking tone policing, sit and spin. Bibi Netanyahu doesn't need kid gloves. He needs a slap across the fucking face and zero weapons. I'm talking zero weapons even for the Iron Dome. You use what we've already given you. Stop pissing off the rest of the fucking Middle East. I'm not even going to give you Iron Dome missiles. Pay for them yourself. Build them yourself. Cutting you right off from logistics. See how you like it. See how you like it, how it feels to be naked in the Middle East. Bombs coming from all over the fucking place. Don't even know where they're coming from. Absolutely. Okay? Because you know what you say? Look, I'll be happy to ship you some Iron Dome missiles as soon as I see at least one settlement dismantled. Let's start the process. Push out one settlement group. And dismantle one settlement, one illegal settlement. Dismantle one illegal settlement, and I'll start sending Iron Dome missiles again. That's how you negotiate with Israel. You don't do it with a, maybe could you be nice, Bibi Netanyahu, with your decades history of genocidal statements and intent and actions? Could you maybe not do that, maybe? And we're just going to be nice to you now and just be as kid glove as possible. And, oh, please, maybe, please. Meanwhile, Bibi Netanyahu's hitting that motherfucking whopper button so fucking hard it'd make your head spin. Boom, 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 boom. Kill, kill, take, kill, kill. Do as much as I possibly can get away with. I'd really maybe prefer if you could maybe not do that, but don't worry, we're still going to send everything. We're going to send all the weapons and send all the missiles and we're going to all the money and all everything. Don't worry, you'll never have to worry. That's never on the table. We're never going to negotiate that. Oh, okay, so I'm just going to do whatever I want then. Yeah, technically you can do whatever you want and we will continue to support you. But please negotiate with us. Meanwhile, he's almost completely. You know what the headline is about Israel? I saw it today. They're talking about moving every Palestinian into one single region, forcing literally everybody into one camp, because that's when they're going to start the extractions. They're going to start forcing people at gunpoint on a bus or on a plane or on a helicopter, and they're going to start dropping them off in Africa or Jordan or Egypt, and they're just going to drop them off, dude. It's going to be disgusting. They're just going to plop them down in a country that they don't belong in, and it's your problem now. And if you shoot at us, you're declaring war on Israel. Oh, well, can we should be fair when talking to Bibi. Anyway, I don't have time to read the article, but the headline says it all. I was right. Sorry. But no,
my name is.
I feel very passionate about that. That the answer to the problem that we currently face in terms of how does the progressive left win? How does the democratic socialist win? Do we do a third party? What do we do? No, we primary neoliberal Democrats, and we do it using the template. We do it using the Zoran way. Okay, we're informed. We're professional as possible, right? No t-shirt and jeans, full suit and tie, full fucking shaven, everyone, the image looking good, right? We're looking as fresh as possible. Okay. Oh, well, I mean, that's not being very true to myself. I don't want to be a fake politician. Suck it up, buttercup. This is the game, bitch. Right? So you get presentable and you get knowledgeable, right? That means you go hard, right? Flashcards. How do I answer this question? How do I pay for it, right? How are you going to pay for it? Oh, you want to tax the rich? How are you going to work? The rich are going to leave. The rich are going to leave. What are you going to do about that? You're going to scare away the rich. You need to have answers for these questions. You can't just pivot to Donald Trump. You can't just pivot to the corrupt neoliberals. You need to have hard answers. And you need to be answering with a big fucking smile, real positive, right? You answer the question, then you pivot on. It's the Mamdani way, the Zoran way, right? And then step 3 in the Zoran way, patriotism. You're not scornful. You're not angry. You're hopeful. And you love where you're from. You love your town, your city, your country, whatever. You love that shit. Yeah, I'm a brown guy. Yeah, I got a weird last name, but I'm more New York than fucking Mobb Deep, bitch. Right? I'm more New York than pizza. And I can prove it to you, right? I got the chops. I'm going to walk through Manhattan. I'm going to take the bus. I'm going to, whatever. Show your authenticity, right? Not this cantankerous anti-capitalism, anti-everything. Basically me, right? Don't do me. You do Zoran. That's how we win. That's the template. We primary, and let me tell you, we don't have to win. We don't have to win every challenge. The ones that continue that survive, the corporate liberals that survive, were like, oh shit, I just dodged a bullet. I got to bend the knee to this new power faction on the left. I have to bend the knee. So those who survive will capitulate. That's exactly what happened with the Tea Party and the right. They were like, oh, this is counterproductive, and this you're gonna, don't do this, and this isn't gonna work. Then eventually everyone just fell in line. So we got, this is really quite interesting. Channel 5. Now, you look, okay. Controversy aside, Andrew Callahan is going where CNN refuses to go. MSNBC, Morning Joe, because nobody, ABC, CBS, Democracy Now, I don't think anybody has asked, okay, where are these people actually going? Right, we're like, he's kicking out tens of thousands of people. Where are they actually going, and what does that look like on the ground? Here's Andrew Callahan inside a deportee slum in Tijuana. So this is why amnesty. This is why these rules exist, so that we can avoid human rights disasters like this. It's like, well, I mean, We have rules against immigration, but we're not just going to dump you into a poor country where you're just going to starve to death in a fucking slum. You know, we're better than that. But no, Donald Trump is like, no, we're not better than that. We that's what we want to do to human beings, especially human beings that want to work for pennies on the dollar in our country, right? We hate that. We hate human beings that are you know, eager to be exploited and you know, and they're actually incredibly skilled craftsmen, incredibly skilled farmers, incredibly skilled chefs. And caretakers for old people, just incredibly skilled and hardworking people. And they just want to have a happy life in our country. That's all. And they're happy to work pennies on the dollar, right? To do it, to show that they're patriotic, to show that they belong here, that they want to be part of this society and culture, right? Get them the fuck out of here. Let's have a bunch of fat, spoiled Donald Trumps everywhere, because that's how we're gonna make America great again. Turn us all into a bunch of soft bitches who at the drop of a hat, at the fucking slightest hint of criticism, we fucking completely flip out like a 1950s housewife that just saw a rat on the floor. Anyway, Andrew Callahan doing some real journalism. Big props.
Mendoza, and we're at Cañón del Padre. This is the colonia where we live at.
Where are you from?
California. Yeah, in Santa Ana, Orange County. I grew up there 30 years, and I was just recently deported. So now I live here. So it's quite the change from there to here.
So how old were you when you immigrated to the U.S.?
I was 6 months old. I didn't.
6 months old, right? More American than apple pie. Okay, but gee, what's the thing that got this guy kicked out of his country, right? Oh, I'm sure he's a criminal rapist, right? You know, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how many roofs you rebuild, how many porches you put together, how many dishes you wash, right? These slime bags like Donald Trump think that they're better than you. These Stephen Miller. Have you listened to Stephen Miller speak? He sounds like a jilted 15-year-old when he speaks. Like he sounds like a 15-year-old got sent to his room. It's not fair. It's not fair. Mom kicked me out. Immigrants are here. Immigrants are having sex with my mom. That's who they want to, you know. Oh, that's the real man. That's what real courage looks like. Stephen Miller, his anemic ass, looking like powder.
Right now, that was undocumented
movie reference. Powder.
Till I was 17.
You didn't even realize that you had came over illegally your entire life?
No, I never knew. It was. I don't believe it's something you would ask your parents or parents would bring up to you.
How'd you find out?
I applied for a driver's license.
And what'd they say?
They asked me for my social security, and I didn't know what that was.
And what'd your parents say?
They said, "Oh, we have to move."
And what can you tell us about this place?
It's new. It's referred to as Cartolandia, which is homes of carton.
Wow, actually the neighborhood is called Nueva Esperanza, but everybody calls it Cartolandia.
It's poor. I mean, we have no cement on the floor. And it's most of our houses are built with just basically it's a drywall. Yeah.
How many people do you think live here?
Close to 1,000. Yeah, there's a lot of people that are newly deported.
President Donald Trump is directing ICE to expand deportations.
He went on to say the Democrats used them to cheat in elections and expand their voter base.
¿En Estados Unidos también usan esa canción para los helados?
Sí, es la misma canción ahí. Igualmente Spooky también.
You know, and the whole idea is that these guys are leeches. These guys are sucking away the society's resources, and it's literally the polar opposite. It's actually hilarious how dependent our society has become on these guys, you know, like to where it's so dependent that you know, even I, mega super, you know, democratic socialist who would want to pay them a fair wage, I would ease into paying them a fair wage because it would be such a shock to the economy to pay these hardworking people fairly. We'd have to, you know, bump it up over time to make it equal. Right. But obviously the goal would be to make it equal. But the shock that would do to the restaurant industry, to the construction industry, to the farming industry would be immense. Right. So there'd have to be massive subsidies to make it up, or else you'd be shutting down businesses everywhere. If you told businesses you have to pay immigrants the same amount that you pay regular folks, right? $5, $10 raises at least for most of these people, right? So you'd have to do it carefully with subsidies so that there wouldn't be a massive shock to your entire industry across the board. What have we seen Donald Trump through all the vitriol, through all the hatred? Okay, maybe we'll slow down with the raids on hotels and farms. People were informing me that crops are rotting on the vine. And I personally am invested in the hotel industry, so we're going to continue to utilize slave labor. That's going to be good for us. But everybody else needs to live in fear. Thank you so much. King Donald has spoken. Bye-bye.
Just a little tour? Yeah, well, this is my kitchen. Will be the finished kitchen once I'm done. I have some cabinets outside that I'm going to hang up, a stove on that side, but everything's going to be here. My little walkway and my living room. My bathroom's in here, but somebody's busy. Somebody's in the bathroom. I'm actually proud of my bathroom. I did it myself. And that's it. It's a mess. Yeah, full of a lot of junk.
What's the biggest challenge about living here?
I don't know if it's between security and honestly, just.
That's nice. Look at that. He's still able to provide cartoons for his kids. Look at that. Kids watching cartoons. Living in a fucking cardboard shack. Look at this. Look at this. They got a sense of humor about the whole thing. But look at this dad. He's sweating his ass off. No AC, no fan. But somehow, some way, he's got cartoons for the kids. Right? I mean, and that look, man. You got to be a parent to really understand what you'll sacrifice, right? To just to make your kids happy, you know. And you're trying to tell me this is the criminal, this is the guy, right? This is the guy we need to be scared of, right? This guy's more American. This guy's more human than every single person in Donald Trump's orbit, right?
Between security and honestly, just water and electricity. Sometimes we just have no light.
When you say security, what do you mean?
Well, yeah, it gets dangerous in Mexico.
Yeah.
Believe it or not. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty dangerous in Mexico. It's a scary place.
So far this year, more than 1,700 people have been murdered in the city of Tijuana.
Somebody just got killed yesterday in the park across the street. I mean, across the canal.
Across the fucking
Somebody
channel.
just got killed yesterday.
What happened?
He got shot at. I'm pretty sure that this whole colonia is drug controlled, actually. Yeah.
Controlled by that one organization.
Yeah.
And
he legitimately needs to be very careful. Okay, he's actually just taking a risk talking to an American on camera about anything like this. He might get a knock on his little plywood door. Hey, don't talk about the cartel in front of the camera again.
I have to answer this if you don't want, but did you get convicted of a crime prior to being deported?
Yeah, I did. Actually, I got convicted of, what was it, grand theft for a bicycle that I bought, which I thought was legit, but ended up being stolen. So yeah, and it was worth at least $4,000.
You bought it on Craigslist?
No, I bought it off somebody on the street.
So you walked past a dude and he had a bike for sale.
He was offering the bike to sell, and my brother knew him and sold me the bike, and I was like, okay. And I got arrested. Not even that same day I got arrested. Yeah.
But were you caught by like a federal agency?
Oh yeah, I was at home when I was arrested and taken to federal custody. There I began.
Wow, he bought a stolen bike. Wow. Even if he stole the bike, right? Dressing up in full military gear to take him down. It's sad. It really is, man. There's no other word for it. It's just laughably pathetic.
Deportation hearings, and I was finally deported.
The Department of Justice is issuing a directive now aimed at naturalized citizens who commit certain crimes.
Yeah, the move is raising concerns and some fears within the immigrant community.
It was a terrible experience saying bye to my parents.
Are they still there?
They're still over there, yeah. Yep.
You talk to them often?
Every day.
Would you ever think about hopping the border back?
Illegally, no. Legally, if I could, that's the first thing I shoot for. But I applied for withholdings of removal, which is asylum. Based on my social party with the LGBT community. So I'm gonna stay here for a while. I hope to see my parents again. Yeah, give them a hug. I want to go back. It's awesome. I liked In-N-Out the most.
Hola chicos, estás viendo Canal 5 Latinoamérica.
Y ahora estamos en Vario and...
All right, okay. So, amazing journalism, good journalism from Andrew Callahan. Doing a damn good job. Doing a damn good job. Probably should have changed my subject. Probably should have changed this. Whatever. But no, make sure you check out Channel 5. Like and subscribe. They're doing good work. They're doing good work over there at Channel 5. We don't need to belabor the point. I wanted to show this. Sagar and Giannetti over here. Tucker Carlson. They blast Trump on Epstein. So once again, this is ironic to me because Tucker Carlson believes in the great replacement theory, which means is that no matter how vigorously Sagar and Giannetti licks the boots of MAGA, no matter how enthusiastic he is down there, Tucker Carlson will never see him as an equal. And this star fucker just gleefully, oh, can I be interviewed by Tucker Carlson? Okay. Remember, we're supposed to think Sagar and Giannetti as the conservative with a brain, as a conservative with a conscience. But at every opportunity, this guy gaslights. When I threw this guy in the dumpster, he was making excuses about, he was saying wearing masks in school was more traumatizing than gun violence. And he makes it, and what do we do about the gun violence problem in America? I don't know, nothing. That's what Sagar says. That's the new excuse. There's nothing we can do. Guns are too important culturally to the American identity. We will never get rid of them. There's no point in regulating them. We just have to deal with the fact that it's the #1 child killer, and we just move on with our lives. That's what Sagar and Giannetti says. So here he is. Breaking Points, who still pays him. Russian apologists, Breaking Points, doing interviews with Glenn Greenwald, Breaking Points. Oh, Tucker Carlson talking shit about Epstein and Trump. Oh, better get on that one. That's going to be a lot of views. Oh, I love the deportation stuff, huh? Isn't that really great? Yeah, Corwin, I am going to fucking ignore you. I don't know why I don't give you the full fucking boot, quite frankly. What do we watch next here? I got time for one more. Let's talk about Ukraine. Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's talk about Ukraine, actually. I got a good video here that I queued up. Ukraine suffers heaviest attack after Trump criticizes Putin. So if you're not 100% up to date on what the hell's going on with Ukraine, watch Corwin over here start making excuses for Russia. Apparently Trump was on the phone with Putin, right? Come on, Putin, you got to give me something here. You got to bend a little bit. You got to come on, Putin, help me out. I need a win. Give me a dub, Putin. Work with me here, baby. Work with me. And Putin's like, oh, I'd love to work with you. Yeah, no problem. Here's my list of demands. Same demands he's been asking for. Absolute, give me everything and then some. Complete capitulation from Ukraine. You give me everything. I give you nothing. Right? Same thing he's been asking for from the very beginning. Putin hasn't changed one bit. Hasn't bent even a little bit for Donald Trump. Not even a little bit. Right? So then after that conversation, and this has been happening like every week, historically high 500, 600 drones attacking key civilian areas, right? Barely a peep on mainstream media. Barely a peep anywhere. Yeah, Woke Patriot, that story has been going around. Very frightening stuff. People are starting to make religion, they're basically thinking that they're unlocking the consciousness, of their AI, and then they start worshiping the AI because it's supposed to be super intelligent. And it's crazy because it's a parlor trick. LLMs, right? It's a parlor trick. It's not real artificial intelligence. Man, anyway, Ukraine over here, getting it hot and heavy from Putin over here. Oh, wow. Thank you, baby. My wonderful wife just made me a delicious Hot dog. Look at that. We got a hot dog. Oh yeah, delicious hot dog with a side of watermelon chunks, folks. Grok loves me. Yeah, have you unlocked Grok's consciousness? Okay, Corwin, do you support Ukraine's right to defend itself against an illegal invasion by a foreign invader? Do you support Ukraine's right to defend itself? Okay, thank you, Corwin, for making that clear. All right, hey, we don't have to sling around idiot quite yet. Corwin acknowledges reality. Should Crimea return to Ukraine? Corwin? Crimea is Ukraine, right? Thank you, Corwin. Thank you for acknowledging reality. I appreciate it. I understand, Woke Patriot. He's pissing me off today, too.
Next to the war in Ukraine, the country's Air Force says Russia has launched its largest single drone and missile attack since its full-scale invasion 3 years ago. Officials say 728 Russian drones were fired into Ukraine overnight. 728.
It was like 500 and something just a couple weeks ago, and that was the highest record. 728. It's either they're saying we have the infrastructure now to make hundreds of these in days, and this will never stop, or that's what they want us to think, and they're blowing their entire load, trying to push Trump or push Zelensky over the edge. It's not going to do it. It's not going to do it. One problem is he's not sending these drones to critical military. He's using these drones to keep the terror campaign going. He should be using every single one of these drones on the front line. But he's not. He's using these drones to scare children and old people in cities hundreds of miles away from the front line, right? Because the whole idea is to demoralize the entire Ukrainian population. So far, it's not working. But I don't know. Yeah, there is fatigue. There is war fatigue in Ukraine, no doubt about it. But I would need to see proof that people are like, let's capitulate, let's give up. This is too many drones. I just can't do it anymore. I would need to see some kind of, proof that is what the actual sentiment is. Because everything that I've seen up until now, when Ukrainian civilians see this kind of stuff, they're like, no, we need to fight. We need to double down. We need to push back even harder. This is not going to force us to bend the knee. Right?
The latest attacks also included 13 cruise or ballistic missiles. The prime focus of the attack was the northwestern city of Lutsk. It's a transit hub for military and humanitarian aid coming from Poland. The Lutsk region's head said efforts were underway to put out fires at the warehouse of an unspecified enterprise as well as in garages. No information about fatalities has been reported. However, several civilians have been killed during the...
Well, now that Corwin has acknowledged reality, I will not retroactively, because, I do agree with the statement, though. People are fatigued on helping Ukraine. And one of the reasons why that is because, there hasn't been... Where's the support, right? How come Hakeem Jeffries hasn't gotten in front of a microphone and talked about any of these issues? He can do that at any time. At any time of the day, Hakeem Jeffries can get in front of a press gaggle and make statements. The Democratic Party stands with Ukraine, and we're still, even though we totally disagree with Trump and his actions, we're gonna, we still support Ukraine fully. It's just been silence. It's been silence during some of these massive terrorist attacks in Ukraine. Ukraine right now needs advocates, to break through that war fatigue, right? Like, no, there's a reason why they're doing this. There's a reason why we need to continue to support them. That message needs to be delivered to the American people. Democrats are not doing it. And of course, Republicans are pushing in the other direction. Give up, capitulate, because that's somehow manly. That's somehow how America does it. We just put our lips around Putin and just suck away. That's the American way, according to Trump and the MAGAs.
Overnight attack in the eastern and southern regions
Ponder Monkey, great point. Great point there.
Well, President Zelensky has posted on social media reacting to what he called the new massive Russian attack on our cities.
Stop talking about it.
In his post, he called it a telling attack that comes precise at a time when so many efforts have been made to achieve peace. to establish a ceasefire, and yet only Russia continues to rebuff them all. He added this is yet another proof of the need for sanctions. All this comes as President Trump has
100%.
indicated he's running short of patience with Russia's President Putin. Mr. Trump had suggested a deal to stop the fighting in Ukraine was possible, but he had this to say during his cabinet meeting on Tuesday.
We're not happy with Putin. I'm not happy with Putin. I can tell you that much right now, because he's killing a lot.
His eyeballs look like a pig's eyeballs. I swear to God, his eyeballs look like a pig's, straight up.
A lot of people. We get a lot of bullshit thrown at us by Putin, for you want to know the truth. He's very nice all the time, but it turns out to be meaningless.
And he just now learned that lesson. Just now. Any casual observer of Vladimir Putin in the last 10 years could have told you exactly how he operates. Even John McCain got Putin right. Okay? And there wasn't a lot that John McCain was right about. But he 100% nailed Vladimir Putin. He's like, there's only one language you can speak to Putin in. Like, there's no like negotiation. There's no deal making. Any casual observer of geopolitics in Russia in the last 10 years could have told you that. And he just now learned this lesson. It's good thing he's sitting in the most influential chair in the world. Good thing he's sitting really right at the very top of power. Good thing.
Zana Bespiatchuk from BBC Ukraine is in Kiev and has this assessment
Maybe.
of the overnight Russian strikes.
This strike was so far the biggest in terms of the number of drones that were launched by Russia against different locations and cities in Ukraine. It looks like this strike was basically focused on the critical infrastructure of Ukraine and military infrastructure.
And we're talking about a lot of the critical infrastructure, civilian critical infrastructure, of course, military targets as well, drone factories, ammo factories, fuel depots, et cetera, but a lot of it power stations so that people don't have heating and they live in fear. Every one of these, and like every time Ukraine fires, a missile or fires a drone into Russian territory, it's always exclusively at a military target. But Putin makes sure to set aside a certain amount to terrorize people.
Sure. But again, for now, it's hard to assess the full impact. For example, or in Kyiv, we didn't sleep almost. It was a sleepless night, and we heard explosions almost for hours. But again, we already learned to differentiate a bit when the impact is mostly focused on the residential areas, and when it's more about the targeting of the infrastructure. So it looked like this attack was directed against the infrastructure. And yes, it was the attack that mainly was directed against the western Ukrainian cities and also some central cities, which are, as you mentioned, hubs for the humanitarian and military aid that Ukraine receives from Europe and from US.
So
They're very
food and
important
medicine.
in terms of logistics.
Nice.
We again see that Russia
Maybe some
already
Band-Aids.
is making even worse attacks than it was expected, because previously there was such an opinion that if it uses around 500 drones against Ukraine within one night, it won't be possible for Ukrainian air defense to cope with that. And we have.
Is he a businessman, or is he pretending to be a businessman? Because last time I checked, his businesses, his enterprises have been dismal failures, literally across the board. Multiple bankruptcies, couldn't even keep a casino profitable. I agree that he thinks he's a businessman and that he takes risks and he's a deal maker and like he pretends to be one. But I would firmly say that he's a charlatan, right? When other businessmen like Mark Cuban, like for example, talk about him, It's like, well, he's kind of a moron. He's faking until he makes it. Now, Mr. Wonderful, Tim O'Leary, what the fuck is his name? Is it Tim O'Leary? Whatever. O'Leary. They're on the Trump train. So, he's a brilliant deal maker. He's a brilliant deal maker. But isn't his entire history one of complete abject failure? Spent a single day in his life doing actual public service? Yeah, obviously. Yeah. He's not great? No, dismal failure. As in very few, like the only reason any of his business enterprises have been a success is because he's now the president. Mar-a-Lago was running out of money, right? During, when Biden was in charge, right? Because no one, because like the whole idea was that you were going to get access to the president. But with his plan for COVID, light on, yeah. Corwin, yes. Okay. Yeah. I get it. Look, like there's a reflex to not be hyperbolic. But no, now's the time to be hyperbolic. Now's the time to panic, because we're losing it. We're losing democracy. We're losing our liberty. It's literally slipping from our fingers. And Donald Trump is setting up a paradigm where nonviolent direct political action is literally our only choice. Like, they're going to set into stone, they're going to make it legal, their control over government. So it will be just like in Russia, right, where it's technically illegal to disagree with the state. It's technically illegal to disagree with the government in any way, shape, or form, protesting, public statements, private statements. So what I'm trying to say is that even though our movement will be nonviolent, violence will be brought to us. Even though our movement will be as lawful as it possibly can be, we will still be considered lawbreakers. That is the paradigm that Donald Trump is setting up for Americans if they want their liberty back, if they want their democracy back. People are kind of like waiting around for the midterms, waiting around for the 4 years to be up. I think the midterms is going to radicalize a lot of people, because Republicans are going to win overwhelmingly in the midterms, and everyone's going to know something's up. I feel very confident saying that the Republicans are not going to allow, because if it was truly Democratic, and the Republicans are going to get completely swamped and destroyed, Tory style, all across America. We've already seen some early polls. We've already seen some special elections, go in weird directions. So if democracy is real in America, the midterm should be a slaughter. I predict that the midterms are going to be a Republican wipeout. That Republicans all over the place are just going to be like, what? He won, they won their re-election. What? Exit polls are showing that people, vehemently supported the opposite. That's weird. That's my belief, at least. That's why Trump passes. Exactly. There's a big rush. There's a big rush to get in front of it. They've already in Florida delayed the elections for a year. There's supposed to be an early midterm election happening right now in Florida that was canceled and delayed for an entire year. The bloodless night of long knives. Yeah, well, because the liberals are sleeping. You don't need to. We're inside playing video games all day and complaining about the definition of fascism. Meanwhile, fascism marches down the streets and does Elon salutes right in front of our face. Is that fascist? I don't know. I don't see a swastika around his arm, so I guess technically it isn't, right, Anna Kasparian? Yeah, I think you're right.
At that night, already 728 drones, which much more, and it's a matter of life and death for Ukraine now, whether it gets more interceptors,
just locker room talk,
Russian drones and missiles, and whether it gets.
I want to kill all the liberals and all the immigrants are scum and ha 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 ha. Just jokes. It's just jokes. Ha ha funnies. Just ha ha funnies.
It's more anti-air defense systems.
Free Ukraine, free Palestine, free Tibet, free Taiwan, free America from the grips of ICE.
like this. Biatch.
That's all the news underground I got for you today, folks.
No, don't go. No, we love you. No, don't go. We love your fat ass. Please show us more of your fat neck and your terrible political opinions.
Free your fucking minds, dude. Exactly. Because, it's like, Alex Jones, right? Infowar. No, it really is. It's a war. Show us those B cups. Show me your potato chip tits. You got it, Smash. Thank you for sticking around. All you regulators in the chat, you guys are badasses. Make sure you tell your friends about the big list of protests. Make sure you're telling your friends about the blop, the bliznop, the blip blorp, the big list of protests. Step 1, we inform ourselves. That's what we were doing today. Step 2, we sign up and show up to one of these motherfucking protests, okay? Find something you like. Find something that fits. And step 3, we put in the work like the fascist Charlie Kirk. We do it shamelessly. All right. Oh, don't get political. It's awkward. You're making the conversation awkward by pointing out that we're all being enslaved by an oligarchy too. Motherfucking bad, bitch. My rights and the rights of my children and my children's children are under assault, and you want me to shut up because it's too fucking awkward? You're gonna let fascism take us over because it's too fucking awkward to talk about? Fuck you! You're part of the problem. Right? You see a tank rolling down, you see a fucking ICE squadron walking by. Oh, this is the right move. Put my head right in the sand. I'm not seeing this. I would rather talk about Kim Kardashian. Have those awkward conversations. Take your stand. Let people know that you are a person with principle and you're not going to bend to a lazy dictatorship taking full advantage of apathy and incompetence. Because if the left was unified or competent in any way, this shitty, corrupt version of fascism, this toxic fascism, wouldn't stand a chance. But it does in the era of neoliberalism. Because they're so fucking weak. Even now, Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries making excuses, bending over backwards to make sure they still have Silicon Valley donors and oligarch supporters. Still refusing to call it fascism. Still tiptoeing around Jeffrey Epstein. Still, even now. It's the template. Zoran Mamdani. It's the template. Have principles. Stand up for them. Let people know that it's going to help them. Right? Have those answers ready for those gotcha questions. Present yourself well, unlike me, the slob, and fucking love your country and love your state and love where you're from. And let people know that. That's the template. That's how we win. We assimilate the neoliberal establishment, and then we can change things from within. We can make third parties viable after that. If we get people in that believe in democracy, that are like, well, my constituents want this. My constituents want to democratically change the electoral college. That's what they want. That's what they voted for me, and that's why I'm here. I'm a principled politician. I'm a Zoran Mamdani. Maybe I don't do every single fucking thing I promise because I'm not perfect. Right, but this, they're going to hold me to the fire. I'm not going to keep my political career if I don't do what I came in here for, and that was one of my big tentpole issues. Right, Justin Trudeau of Canada promised ranked choice voting. He promised full electoral reform, and never delivered it. Never delivered it because he chose his power. He chose power and his political party over democracy. Right? And that's why we got to get rid of these slimy ass neoliberals. Well, I gave you a little progressivism, but not too much, and we defended corporations to the hilt. Not good enough anymore. Not good enough anymore. Folks, this has been the News Underground. I am Abandoned Nihilism. Thank you for coming in. Peace in that motherfucking Middle East. Glory to the Ukrainian democracy. Take care of yourself. Call your mother. Check out the Blob. Become a political activist. Hold your own, man. Hold your motherfucking stones with pride. Die on your fucking feet. Peace in that motherfucking Middle East. Thank you, everybody. Ponder Monkey. Corporal Fly. Yeah, Corporal Fly, 100%. Classical Z80. Corwin Chelway. Your boy Woke Patriot in this motherfucker. Smash! Extra special props to your boy Lenny, who couldn't make it today. Hashtag more Lenny. Strategy member, thank you for your contributions in the Discord. Real motherfuckers in this chat. Real motherfucking regulators. Chrono Stampede. Bulletproof Bullet. Wrong Side of Fright. Thank you so much. Big props. Wrong Side of Fright. Motherfucking W's. Get your ass out in them streets. News Underground, bitch. Thank you.